Hello and welcome to the Amy
and Kyle
Adventures podcast, also known as the AKA podcast. If you've listened to the last two podcasts, it has been me and my sister Molly, but we've decided to revert back to the original and bring back the big boy, AKA Kyle.
I'm back.
He's back with a vengeance. Basically, with the time difference between here and America, my sister's microphone issues, it's just been a bit of a nightmare, and we thought let's just go back to the original. It was working well, and when Molly's back in the UK, we'll get her back on the podcast then.
Right. I think it's because everyone's missed me as well.
Yeah, everyone's missed Kyle. Kyle's the main man, so he's got to come back. This podcast, as it was before, is all about marriage, mental health and cycling. Maybe a bit of running as well, as we both, I do running. Kyle lasted about 2 runs over Christmas and gave up.
Yeah, but I deserve the benefit of the doubt there a little bit. Because I did get ill twice and got very busy with work, so that's a bit harsh. Back to it.
Yeah, you did an 8k with my
I
mum.
might do some this week actually.
Oh yeah, I'll hold you to that. Your trainers are for some reason your trainers are in my car boot. I don't know why.
Christmas.
Right, so basically for the last 6 weeks you've done nothing.
6 weeks?
It's been over 6 weeks since Christmas.
Yeah, but I got ill in time, then we went to Calpe.
Yeah, so you've not been running basically.
No.
You'll have to start with run walk again. Anywho, we've literally recently just come back from Calpe and we went out there. Well, we say Calpe, that's like the buzzword, everyone says that. But basically we flew to Alicante, which is in Spain, and we stayed in a villa about 8 miles out of Calpe. We've never cycled there before, and oh my God, it was amazing. Literally, I've fallen in love with it. We decided to go out there. We kind of booked it last minute, didn't we, in December?
Yeah.
We just thought, let's go for it, get out the English horrible weather. And obviously I'm doing the Tour de France ride in literally 5 months, just over 5 months' time, which is where I'm going to be cycling every stage of the Tour de France, plus the transfers, which I'm a bit scared about, but let's not go into all my fears about that right now. So we thought we'll go out there and get some multi-day riding in. My coach said just keep it steady, everyday riding, which is what we did. But oh my goodness, it's so beautiful out there, isn't it, Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely stunning.
I mean, there's no flat roads.
Yeah, you'd never get a flat route out there. Even if you go by the coast, you're not getting a flat route really, are you?
No, we literally every day was, I'm just looking at the stats now on my Strava. We did 6 days of riding. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a cold for the first few days, so we couldn't do as much as we wanted to do. But over the 6 days that we were there, we did 439 miles and we did 43,363 feet, which in metres, I should do metres really. I'm going to Google this.
I'm sorry.
Carl, what's your estimation?
13,000 metres.
Let me see, 43363. Sorry about this, 363. I know I need to move to metres and kilometres, but I just can't do it. I just prefer the miles. I don't know why, I just prefer miles and feet.
Old school ways.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the old ways. I think it's because with running, actually, that's weird because in running I do kilometres. When I go on a run...
Everyone does in running, don't they?
I don't know, but when I go on a run I always do kilometres, but when I go on a bike ride I always do miles.
I think it's because in a car you're working miles per hour.
Yeah.
And when you're driving somewhere, you sort of gauge it on how far somewhere is on miles.
Yeah,
so
and you're on the road.
That's why.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Anyway, you guessed quite well because it's 13,217 metres. So well done, Kyle.
Just a pretty face.
Right, now can you guess what the miles is in kilometres? 439 miles in kilometres. What's that in kilometres?
130 kilometres. No, it's got to be more than that.
Come on.
What? How many kilometres again, sorry?
439.
600 is 375. 50.
5,
oh yeah,
4.
630 kilometres.
No, 706 kilometres.
Oh.
706.5 to be precise.
700 as well.
Yeah, so we did 706.5 kilometres and over 13,000 metres of climbing in 6 days. And 2 of those days I had quite a bad cold, which I tried to play down a bit on the videos, but I was up most of the night.
Yeah,
but still,
well.
I was keeping Kyle up as well. But I was like, if I was at home, I would have rested. But I was like, we've come out here. I'm not going to not ride my bike in this beautiful place. So I just grin and bear it, unlike this one over here. If he was ill, we'd not hear the end of it.
To be fair, there was another chap there that had been ill for the whole time, bless him.
Yeah.
And didn't get to ride at all, really.
And he was just in bed all the whole time, wasn't he?
So I felt really bad for him.
But he was coughing over everything.
He stayed in his room for most of it, didn't he?
No, there was another one that was coughing.
Yeah. Well, luckily... Well, I'd say I didn't get ill. I think I've been a little bit ill since I've been home, but...
Yeah, he's trying to fight it off. We've been both having this stuff called echinacea, haven't we? Basically, my mum's friend works in she does wellness stuff, yeah. And I've never really believed in all that herbal stuff. But honestly, she told us about this stuff called echinacea, and it's like a plant, and you can either get it in a tablet or a
Liquid.
liquid. This isn't an ad, by the way. So I just bought it. Every time I feel like I'm going to get ill or someone around me's ill, I have it and I don't get ill, and it's dead good.
Well, remember, just after the COVID times is when we found out about it.
Yeah.
And when we did actually take the tablets, because you have to take them like continuously, really.
Yeah. Well, in when there's a about a flu or something. Yeah.
And we didn't actually catch anything, did we?
No.
So I don't know whether that's a placebo or just it does actually work.
But anyway, you've been having your echinacea, haven't you?
I've been having it every day.
Yeah.
I still managed to suffer a little bit with my lungs, but I'm okay.
Yeah, we've actually been, it's a Sunday today and we've been on a ride this morning. It's our third ride since we've been back from Calpe. And oh my goodness, it's so cold out there. Horrid.
My second ride.
We did 50 miles and we had to do, my coach set me 12 minutes. Had to do 4 lots of 12-minute efforts. So I said, Kyle, I'll have to go on the front because your efforts will be faster than mine. And I just had to go for it for 12 minutes 4 times, which was actually quite fun.
No, I really enjoyed it.
Because it gives you a focus.
I mean, I've always enjoyed like hard efforts anyway. But it was kind of nice to train with you as well.
Yeah, you didn't look like you were enjoying it on some moments though.
Yeah, because you do have to bear in mind that when Amy's told to do 200 watts plus going up a climb, weighing what she weighs compared to what I weigh means I've got to put in a substantial much more effort.
Yeah, what were you doing at one bit?
I think at one stage I was between 380 and 420 watts on a climb just to try and stay on the wheel. Yeah, for anyone that's going to be tough.
Yeah, but it was good, we got it done, and now we've got the afternoon, so it's all good. Anyway, going back to Calpe, I do want to tell one story.
Well,
if you watch the YouTube video, you'll know about Bonk Bill.
Yeah.
AKA Kyle.
The first day nightmare.
The weekend before we went to Calpe, we went, every year we go to Centre Parks with my family. It's like a tradition I've been going since I was a baby. We always do it after Christmas because it's something to look forward to, you know, in the January blues. It's a great time, but it's very exhausting going to Centre Parks with my family. One word, rapids. If you've been to Centre Parks, you know what I mean. We go up down the rapids at full pelt. I mean, you come out with bruises. Carl came out with scratches.
I mean, I've still got a cut on my finger now.
Yeah, like we take the rapids to the literal sense of rapido down there. Yeah. Like torpedo down the rapids. So literally you come out with bruises. You come away from the weekend needing a holiday. We drove straight from Centre Parks to the airport. Got to Calpe at like 11 at night, midnight. I think it was about midnight. So we didn't have good sleep. And then we thought, right, first day, I felt like I was coming down with a cold and I was worried that it was going to get worse. So I was like, well, I want to do a big day first because if I do end up with a really bad cold and I can't ride, at least I've got one big day in. Probably wasn't the best idea.
You didn't tell me that at the time.
No, but that was what was in my head.
I wonder why we're doing such a big day on the first day.
Because I thought, well, if I get ill, at least I've done one big day.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, you know now. But anyway, we ended up doing, was it like 90 over 90 miles, but over 10,000 feet of climbing?
Yeah, it was a long...
Which is like over 3,000 metres.
Yeah, like if we always work miles to feet, so anything that's 1,000 feet per 10 miles is extremely hilly.
Yeah, so it was very hilly.
You can imagine it's very hilly.
So we went out on this ride and I said to Kyle, right, it's a long ride. I don't know if there's going to be many shops. I've never ridden here before. So bring enough snacks. He's like, yeah, I will. And bearing in mind where we were staying, it was like an open fridge thing, so you could take whatever you wanted from the fridge or the drawers. There was like drawers full of sweets, cupboards full of bananas, loads of different snacks. So I snacked up, put them all in my back pocket, had a big breakfast. I had porridge, toast with peanut butter, yoghurt, and I had loads of breakfast just so I thought, right, fueled up properly. Kyle, being Kyle, you don't like breakfast, do you?
No, I'm not very good with breakfast.
Makes him feel sick.
Yeah, I've always been the same.
So what did you have for breakfast?
So I had 4 slices of toast.
And when we
Which is quite a bit.
No, when we say slices of toast, they were those little tiny slices.
Yeah, like the really small slices.
So it was basically the equivalent of like 2 pieces of toast.
But I didn't want to eat much more because I didn't know how my stomach could be.
Yeah, so you literally had basically 2 pieces of toast with butter.
And then I was being too polite to take any of the snacks.
Which is very unlike you with snacks.
I know, so I just took 1 banana and 7 sweets.
They were like 7 individual wrapped chewy sweets.
Literally, like, when I say 7 sweets, like 7 very small sweets.
I didn't realise this until about like 15 miles in, and I was like, what snacks did you bring then? And he was like, I've got banana and I've got some sweets. I was like, you what? I was like, Kyle, what happens if there's like nowhere to stop? And he's like, oh, it'll be alright, there'll be a shop somewhere, I'll get something. 80 miles later,
Yeah, I think
no
it was
shop.
Like 70 miles, right?
Yeah, 70 miles in.
20
No,
miles
we
to
had
the end. No, it must have been
we
more
had
than that.
14 miles left of the ride when we got to a shop.
Oh wow! So yeah, you're looking at 79 miles.
Yeah, 79 miles into the ride, we came across a shop. But honestly, so you were going quite well to start with. You had your banana, then you had your sweets, and then you ran
It's going
out.
well for quite a good amount of time. To
Yeah, but it was obviously bound to happen. But like, you know, when you're just so desperate for your shop and you're thinking, right, in the next 10 miles there'll be one. But we were literally up in the mountains. There was nothing around.
I made a simple mistake of assuming it'd be like somewhere like Mallorca, where you go through plenty of little villages. They've got like little cafes and stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that.
To be fair, the rest of the week, the rides we did go through more places and there was lots of shops and things around. But that day, it was just really mountainous and really nothing around. So literally, the last 10 miles before we found that shop, at one point, Kyle got off his bike, sat on the side of the road and said, I can't go any further. And I was like, I offered him my snacks as well and stuff, because to be fair, by that point, I hadn't brought enough either, really, because I didn't think we'd be going 79 miles without anything. So I was pretty much on the edge of a bonk as well, but not as bad as Kyle. So I'd offered him some of mine, but he didn't want that, and I'd pretty much eaten all mine. So I can't go any further. I was like, well, right, Kyle, I had to do a bit of tough love, because I was like,
She makes it sound like I was crying, which I wasn't.
Well, you pretty much were, let's be honest.
I just was not in a very good mood.
You were very mardy. And like, I was like, well, I don't know what you want me to say, because it's your own fault. You're in this mess because of your own fault, for a start. I didn't say that. But I just said, right, you've got two options. You either ring a taxi and get a taxi back. And he was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, right, then we'll keep riding, because the more you stop sitting around here saying you can't go any further, the longer it's going to be until you find food. So he was like really mardy. Then he rode past me going, I'm getting no sympathy from you.
Well, if anyone watches a YouTube, you can visibly see how slow my legs are moving.
Yeah.
And I have never ever felt a bonk like that.
Honestly, going up the climbs, like you can see on the camera, like I'm just going up chatting and Kyle's in the background just weaving around.
It's the way I'm just dragging the bike up the climb as if it's like 26% and it's probably like 4.
It was really bad.
Yeah, I've never suffered like that.
No, to be fair, you've learnt your lesson though, haven't you?
But I didn't bonk any of the other days.
No, the rest of the week you were literally raiding the cupboards.
Yeah, I took loads.
And you got a nickname, didn't you?
Yeah, Banana Man.
Banana Man, because everyone there was like...
That's the second time we've been away and someone's called me Banana Man.
I know, when we went to Italy as well, because you eat so many bananas.
It's like my secret fuel.
I love bananas. Although they were telling us that although bananas are good, they've not got much carbs in, so you should actually... They were saying like... it's
more
only got,
sugar, I suppose.
I think they were saying it's only 20 grams of carbs or something. Not even that.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that, I don't think.
That's something I've got to get much better at, because my coach was saying I need to have like 60 to 90 grams of carbs per hour.
Which
the Tour de France.
Training your body to do that as well.
Yeah, I need to start. Well, I've never even used carb drinks, so I'm going to start using them, because I think the only way to get that amount in, you know, when I'm riding 8 to 10, 15-hour days, I'm going to need carbs in my drinks, because otherwise I'll be like a balloon.
Sometimes it's not always possible to consume that volume of food.
Yeah.
That's why people use gels, etc.
I think
makes it a little bit easier.
I don't know, I like the idea of a carb drink more than a gel. I don't know, I feel like a gel's going to make me feel sick.
I mean, some people, gel's like a last resort. And I don't often have gels, but I do use them.
Yeah.
I do find them quite... Especially when you're doing a really long ride.
Yeah.
And you just want to crack on. If you've got some gels in your pockets, it does make it a little bit easier.
Thing is, up to this point in my riding, I've never used a gel, never used a carb drink, and I don't drink caffeine. So I have managed to last on just food, and I'm like, well, if that works for me, I might as well carry on. But then I'm also like, for Tour de France, it is going to be 30 days, and the amount of food I have to eat to sustain it is just going to be a good idea to try the carb drinks. I don't know why I've got to think about them.
The thing is, the pros use them in the Tour. That says it all. And no one can sustain the volume and the elevation that you're going to be doing.
And like, the last thing I want is to peter out and burn out with not eating enough.
I genuinely believe it'd be near on physically impossible to consume the amount of food you'd have to consume in order to get the carb intake and all the stuff that you need.
Yeah.
Because you just feel really bloated and really sick, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't want to run out of energy, because that would be a nightmare. And I don't know why I've got to think about carb drink, but I think it's like, because I used to have an eating disorder.
You're someone that likes a lot of natural product, aren't you?
Yeah, I like to eat natural food, and I like to eat like healthy. I know I go to my cafes and stuff, and I do have my treats, and that's something I've had to work really hard on to be able to do and not feel guilty about.
You'll only go to one that's homemade.
Yeah, like if it's a cake in a packet or like something in a packet, I won't eat it. It has to be like homemade. I don't know. I think there's some eating disorder things that just stick with me.
But we'll get you into that.
Yeah, I'll get into carb drinks. But I think like I'm happy just as long as I'm a healthy weight and I eat enough and I'm happy in my life, it's not ruling my life, then I'm happy to be like that. And like, what's the problem with me eating natural healthy food if I want to, and still letting myself have treats? But I think it's like with the carb drinks, I don't know, it's like from an old eating sort of thing, it's like when I bring something new in, it's just a bit stressful. But once I've had it a few times, I won't find it stressful. So I think
in normal circumstances, it wouldn't be an issue just to stick to your ways.
Yeah.
But normally, this isn't a normal thing you're doing.
No.
By any means.
I'm not normal.
So,
the last thing I want is to be like you going up those climbs or sit on the side of the road saying I can't go any further.
I mean, have you ever seen me climb so far?
No. And it was actually quite nice for me because I wasn't having to push up as hard.
Yeah, I made a payback for the rest of the week.
Yeah, you blooming did. There were other days where I was thinking, can you bonk again so I can go a bit slower, please? But yeah, I'm just thinking for Tour de France, yeah, it's definitely going to be important. Although there probably will be times when I'm not bonking, but I sit on the side of the road and say I can't go any further just because I'm in pain or something. But you just have to tell me to keep going.
Bound to happen. You're going to get fatigued. You're going to have low moments.
I am actually, like, the more, like, the closer it's getting and, like, the more now people know, because I spoke about it, I'm getting more. I was saying on the ride this morning, wasn't I, like, have a bit enough more than I can chew. I don't know if I can do it. But then there's the other half of my head that is like, no, you can do it. Come on, Amy. I'm doing it. I've decided to do it for Shout, which is a mental health charity, who are like a 24/7 helpline. So, because my main aim is to like raise awareness of mental illness and like show people not to give up when things get hard. And because there was a time when I didn't want to be here, so that's why I'm doing it. So, you know, obviously I'll give it my all. That's all I can do, and hopefully just inspire people to keep living life when it gets hard and just get to a happy place.
You've got support.
Yeah, I've got you on Snack Patrol. Although after your own Snack Patrol, I'm a bit worried now that you're in control of my snacks. No. You set me off on 1 banana and 6 sweets.
The trouble is I'm very hypocritical.
Yeah.
So like I'll be the first person to say to Amy, you're not eating enough, make sure you're eating. And there will be me like 1 banana down in like 3-4 hours.
I know. It was like a constant joke in the villa whenever we got back from the ride. They're like, oh, what have you had today? And Carla would be like, 3 bananas. 3 bananas and half a gel. But no, we are getting better with it. Anyway, moving on, let's move on to the moan minute. So every week, we always say that if you let yourself have a moan, in the UK we love a moan, let's be honest. Most of the time, but most of the time, like when you moan, sometimes you are properly moaning, but sometimes it's like a jokey moan. You know what I mean? Like, it's like fun, a bit of, you know, you're moaning about something, but it's kind of in a jokey way.
I think we get pleasure out of moaning.
Yeah.
But mostly in a jokey way.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think as well, like when you've got something on your mind and you moan it out, you feel better after. So we do the moan minute. Basically, we have a minute where we can moan about whatever we want, but maximum for a minute. Then afterwards, you feel better. Carl, do you want to go first?
I'm happy to.
Right, I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, my moan is I went to the petrol station the other day, and as I was queuing up, bearing in mind this is an M&S BP petrol station, so you expect to be quite people with a bit of decorum. And I went up to the counter to go and pay, and there's a woman in front of me that had a crate of beers in her hand, no problem with that. And then she proceeds to turn around and stick a finger up me.
What?
Up at me.
Stick a finger up me, sorry, what?
Stick a finger up at me, and not her index finger.
Right.
Then for me to only realise that she was doing it to the man behind me, but she literally like lunged forward and stuck her finger up at me, thinking she was doing it to me, and I was like, but there's no need for that. Just have some respect. Wait till you get back outside if you want to do that. There's no need. And it just really annoyed me. I was like, what sort of people feel that's appropriate? Anyway, that's me done. Over and out.
Right, Carl, let's just re-collaborate. So she didn't stick a finger up you.
No, thankfully.
That minute went a bit wrong.
I think that'd be more than a moan minute. I think that might be a minute in A&E.
Right, so basically a woman in the petrol station, just get this right, stuck a finger up, the middle finger, and the man behind you in the queue.
But
you thought it was about you?
Yeah, so I was stood directly in front of him, and she like lunged forward and went like that in front.
Right.
So like lunged towards me and did it.
What did you say to her?
And I was just in shock.
Right.
I just pulled her face like, what?
Was she drunk or something?
No, she just finished work.
Oh.
And then I like sort of moved out of the way and I saw the man behind me laughing and he said something back to her and I was like, well, there's no need for that.
Oh dear.
Just have some respect.
Well, at least she didn't stick a finger up you.
Well, I think I would have had a bit more to say than just a shocked face.
I think I would be a bit like surprised you hadn't told me that if she had.
How to get that quiet?
God, right, okay.
Maybe it's my fantasy.
I hope not. What? Get? Oh no, let's not go into that. Right, okay. Right, my turn. I don't think I can't like get that image out of my head now. I can't top that now. Oh, right, okay, decorum. Right, Carl, are you gonna... I've got the giggles now. Can you do my minute timer, please?
I can certainly can.
You're gonna count me down from 5.
Well, I can count you down from whatever you want.
Count me down from 3 then.
No minute.
Yeah. Right, my moan of the week is that I'm just fed up of builder's dust everywhere. Now, I know we're very, very fortunate to be able to get a garage extension, which Kyle is kindly building, but it's been going on for months. I'm sorry, the bikes are in the house because we can't get to the garage. There's dirt everywhere, there's dust everywhere. The drive, which we had redone, is an absolute tip. There's mud all over it. We're basically going to have to get a whole load of new gravel. And I said, don't do the drive until you've done the extension. But no, someone over here decided, let's do the drive first. Now it's all ruined. We've got to pay a shed load more money to get all the gravel done. So I'm very angry about that. Just mess everywhere. Like all the stuff that should be in the garage, we've got loads of stuff in the house. Everywhere I look, I think mess, mess, mess. And it's just annoying me and it's making me feel angry. And I just want a clean house when I come in. I don't want to stand in the kitchen floor and get bits on my feet. You know, when you walk through, you have bits, and I know I should wear socks, but I can still feel the bits, and I don't like it. And that's my moan done. And that was a boring moan, but that's how I feel. I appreciate you doing the work, I really do, but I just wish you could...
And when you say the drive's ruined, it's not ruined.
It is ruined.
There's one little section where the skip was, where it needs some more gravel topping up.
But there's mud.
Which was going to need more gravel anyway, because where I built the extension.
But there's mud everywhere. And then
I appreciate that.
every time I take Chester out on a walk...
It's not that bad.
There's mud. No, but even on the step outside the drive, outside the door, there's mud all over the step. So I take Chester out the front door, immediately muddy. So as soon as I come in, I have to wipe him all down. It's just annoying. But anyway, I know that's, there's people who don't even have a house. So I've got to put it in perspective. I'm very fortunate to have a house. So realistically, I'm grateful. But I just, I felt like I wanted to moan about that. So that's me done. Is that all right, Kyle?
I'll take it on the chin.
So,
maybe it'll all be cleaned up.
Can you just, when you come in the house, just, take, wipe your shoes or something. Actually, you shouldn't even wear your shoes in the house. Just take your boots off outside, yeah? Then, when you come in the porch, just take your socks off. So all the bits are gone. Then when you walk through, no bits will be coming off. And even if you take your work trousers down as well, just make sure the woman that...
You wouldn't actually believe, listening to Amy, that I own 50% of this house, would you?
You what?
Listening to you wouldn't believe I own 50% of this house.
We're married, we own... What's yours is mine.
Exactly, 50%, exactly.
Yeah, so you should pay some respect to it if you own 50% of it.
That was a joke.
Yeah, I should.
No,
but also, when you're in the porch, you can take your work trousers off as well, because they're what bring the dust in. So go in the porch, take your work trousers off, just make sure the woman from the petrol station isn't anywhere nearby. And then come through the house, just in your tidy whities. Okay? In your little budgie smugglers.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No, blooming wouldn't. Not when the state you coming out for the building site. You stink.
Oh dear.
Sweat
this
heaven.
Is really going in on me now.
Sweat central it is, I'm telling you. If anyone else listens who's got a builder as a husband, honestly, the state you come home in, I think, where have you been? Down a chimney?
Because do you know what that's called? Graft.
I know, and I'm very proud of you for it.
Putting your body through the extremities of the building site.
I dread to think, to be honest. The stories
exactly.
you come in with.
Some people can't hack this life.
I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised that the middle finger offended you when you work on a building site every day.
No, it didn't offend me. I was just a bit gobsmacked. Don't expect someone to turn around and do that.
No. Anyway, moving on to future bike plans for the next few weeks. I am going to Boston next week to see my sister Molly. So unfortunately, no cycling for me outdoor. Well, I've got a training session the next 2 days on the indoor bike, but then I'm not going to be able to ride in Boston because it's -9 there. I'm not taking my bike, so I'm just going to be doing a bit of running. But when I come back in 2 weeks' time, we are doing an Audax, which is a long distance bike ride. So we're going to do like a 200k. So I'm excited for that. While I'm away, Kylie, going to do any riding without me?
Yes, I probably will. Because I will get lonely being at home on my own.
You'd have Chester.
No, I always get... It's always a weird feeling when you go away. I don't think you've ever been away for this long.
I'm going away for 5 days. It's not that long. I think I've been away.
5 days?
Yeah, 5. No, 6 days.
6
days, yeah. You'll miss me.
Well, it's been a long time since...
But let's just point this out. Kyle was offered to come as well, but he didn't want to, did you?
Well, no, I've got to work.
Yeah.
I've got to do the extension. I probably will ride my bike, maybe do a training ride with a local club on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Maybe, depending on weather.
Yeah.
Mainly the focus is going to be on the garage.
Yeah. Hopefully when I come back, the garage will be done, won't it?
That's the hope.
Shall I bring you a present back from Boston? I'll bring you a surprise present and yeah, I'll give it to you on the podcast when I come home.
I was hoping you'd do that regardless.
Hey! Well, I will. Oh, it's Valentine's Day when I'm out there as well.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in Valentine's.
No, we don't really normally do Valentine's, do we? Because we just think we'd rather share our love every day of the year.
Well, that's soppy.
No, we're like we're not very
actually
romantic. Kylie's the least romantic person ever, so it's a fat look at me getting a Valentine's present.
I can get you one if you want.
Our wedding anniversary of the year, remember that time you forgot it?
Yeah,
Should we get into that now? Or?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
I made up for it this year.
You did make up for it this year, and too blooming right. I woke up, I thought, oh, it's a wedding anniversary today.
Can I just point...
Nothing from Kyle. I thought, oh, right, it's all right. When he gets back from work, he'll probably give me something, at least a card. Gets back from work, says nothing. No text all day. I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to let this simmer. Because I'm not going to say anything and see what happens here. Nothing. Comes in from work, nothing. Normal. Straight up for a shower. I was like, came down, dinner time. I was like, anything, special about today, Kyle? Just looked at me blank. I said, what was happening 4 years ago today? He was like, 4 years ago today? I was like, yeah, 4 years ago today, Kyle. I was like, wedding bells ringing anything? He was like, oh, shit. I was like, yeah. He swore. I was like, yeah, shit. It's our wedding anniversary, arsehole.
The worst thing about that is...
Yeah.
The worst thing, and I've told loads of people about this, I really was annoyed at myself because I set myself notifications and reminders in the weeks leading up to it. And even 2-3 days prior to this, I was thinking, right, tonight I'm going to sort it all out. I had it all planned out in my head. I was thinking I'm going to sort it. And then the day came and I just don't know what happened. I must have got caught up in something else. And when she said it to me, I was literally so annoyed at myself. But we've all been there, lads, haven't we?
Well, I don't know if we all have, but some
I made up for it last year.
You made up for it last year, you got me some nice stuff, and we forgive and we forget, so it's all good.
And it was only 4 years. 5 years.
Hey!
5 years, a bit more special.
Only 4 years, excuse me? Well, I'll remember that.
There won't be a 6th year if I carry on.
No, there won't be a 6th year if you forget any more. If you forget next year, I'll be giving you... My present to you will be a wedding ring back and you can sell it in the market and buy yourself a new house that you own 100% off instead of 50%.
Oh dear.
Right, anyway. Right, we'll move on to mental health then. We'll finish off with that. So we always like to finish off with a little bit of a mental health check-in, how we've been doing the last few weeks. So Kyle, one word to sum up your mental state currently.
My mental state currently is zen.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Very calm.
What, even with all the stress of the garage?
That stuff doesn't stress me out.
That's good then.
That sort of stuff never has stressed me out.
What's helped you to feel zen?
Don't know. I think Calpe helped. I don't know, there's nothing particularly stressing me out.
And I think also...
We're fortunate people, we're not in a bad place.
Yeah. And we don't have an argument of the week this week, because we haven't actually argued this week. Apart from on the podcast.
No, genuinely, we haven't.
No, we haven't argued, so that's probably helped.
So everyone that sees it on the YouTube, I was arguing. It's not as bad as it seems, trust me.
No, we don't argue that much. We bicker all the time, but that's normal.
See Snapshots on YouTube, don't they?
Oh, blooming heck, if they saw a real argument, they'd really know what was going on. I dread to think what comments we get.
That is my mental state.
Yeah, that's good.
How is yours?
I'd say, if I'm totally honest, frazzled. Frazzly. I'm good. Today's been like the best day I've had the past few weeks, but I think I've just been really busy. And I was saying to you the other day, wasn't I, like, I wish I wasn't. I really want to go to Boston and see my sister. I've never been to America. And we're going with mum and dad and my other sister, so it's going to be really nice, but it could do with being like in a few weeks' time. I just feel like...
Resettle back in.
We had Christmas, Centre Parks was nice. It's all been really nice stuff in Calpe, but when you just feel like you just want a bit of time at home. And I've just not been sleeping very well. Like, I'm not worried about anything, but I just keep waking up every hour. And you only wake up and you think, oh, it must nearly be the morning. And it's like 12 o'clock. And then you wake up again, it's like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m. It gets to 5 a.m, I'm like, might as well just get up now. So I'm just, a bit frazzled. But like you say, like, we're very in a fortunate position. We've got Chester, my dog. He really helps me when I'm feeling stressed. Just give him a cuddle. And I know that like calmer times will come. I just need to make sure. I think I've just not been very good at being in a routine of, like, I keep saying to you, don't I, Kyle, like, instead of watching telly right up until bed, I want to go to bed earlier, read in bed, settle into the night, settle into slumber. But I've not been very good at that. So I think I just need to get better at routine and just having boundaries, because I feel like I say yes to so many things. And sometimes, like, I'll have a week where I'm out every single night meeting a friend or doing something, whereas I need to just be like, no, have some me time and just make sure that I don't always be busy. Yeah.
As in to just do nothing.
I can't just do nothing though. My head literally runs at 100 miles an hour. Like, to be fair, we went on a ride this morning. My head's always busy. But then we saw some donkeys, didn't we? And I love donkeys.
We spoke about this earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, and we'd just been on a dog walk, and Kyle was like, when you were looking at the donkey, I was looking at you. He's like, what goes through your head? Because you just look so happy. And I was like, do you know what? When I'm looking at the donkey, I'm actually not thinking of anything. Because I'm just thinking like, oh, it's so cute.
And I believe it as well, because when I was watching her, she was just stood there, staring at this donkey, not moving, and just smiling.
No, it's just because
Calm.
I love all animals, really. I love animals, and when I see animals, like when I'm out riding and stuff, I just look at them and thinking of it. I never thought it till you asked me on the dog walk a minute ago. Like, what were you thinking? I'm not really thinking anything. So I think other than bike riding, like animals really help me. So maybe I just need to buy a donkey to go with Chester. But to be no, we've got Chester. He's good enough. The same with Chester. Chester is a donkey. He's lying on the floor now. Chester. He's not even looking up. He's shattered, isn't he? Oh no, he's stretching now. Oh, he's stretching. Oh, bloody hell.
Chester is very good at stretching.
He's stretching.
He always remembers to stretch after his walks.
Yeah.
One thing I don't do.
What's Chester's moment of the week been? I know what his moment of the week's been.
What, for excitement?
No, just being a Chester.
Oh,
right.
I know what it
the
is.
other morning, honestly, he is the laziest dog ever. So normally I drag him up every day at 6 a.m. for a dog walk. The other morning, I thought, right, I'm going to do my training on the turbo this morning, and I'll take him out after work. So I thought, I'll just leave him in bed then, he's not getting up, see when he comes down. 9 a.m, still no sign of him. 9:30, no sign. 10 a.m, no sign. Bearing in mind, he's not been up since we went to bed at 10 p.m, so he's been upstairs since 10 p.m. the night before. Mm. No food, no water, so he's not even hungry. I don't know what's up with him. Not been for a wee. 10:30, still no sign. 11 a.m, no. I thought, is he dead or something? I went up there to have a look. He just looked his head up. I was like, are you okay? Looked at me, plonked his head back down. I was like, is he okay? And then eventually, 12 p.m, I had my lunch early that day at 12. He comes trotting down, stretching the kitchen, like bum in the air, full like stretch of his front legs. And then went outside for a wee and came in and ate his breakfast. I was like, plumbing heck. He'd been up there for 14 hours. Yeah, 14 hours he'd been up there.
He's such a lazy dog.
It was the day after we came back from Calpe and he'd been staying at mum and dad's, and they've got 2 dogs. And he always comes back from there shattered because he loves playing, doesn't he? So I think he just absolutely shattered. But yeah, that was his moment of the week.
He's been at my grandma and granddad's as well, and he loves playing with them.
Yeah, you've been at both, hasn't he? So
the funniest thing for me, Chester did this week, was when he was running up and down the stairs.
Oh yeah, there's this thing at work basically. Like there's this thing about like how it's bad if you sit at your desk all day, and there's this idea that you could every 2 hours or every hour and a half, get up from your desk and either walk up and down the stairs a few times or run up and down your stairs a few times if you work from home. So I thought, I'll give that a go today. So I started running up and down the stairs, and Chester absolutely loves it. Like he runs up with me, runs down with me, runs up. It's probably a bit of a health and safety risk, to be honest. I won't tell work. But then he's like nips at my side, doesn't he? Like gets all playful. He loves it.
Yeah, it's funny.
So you were doing it as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was doing it. He does it more with you though, because he's probably more scared to nip me than he is you.
I do turn him off when he doesn't nip properly, just like kind of nibbles.
No, it's more, I noticed what he was doing. It's because you had a dressing gown on, and it was the belt.
Yeah.
So the belt was dangling down, and that's what he was trying to grab.
Yeah, he was trying to grab it.
It wasn't actually you.
Yeah, that wasn't, by the way, that wasn't while I was working. That was when Kyle got home.
Yeah, about to say,
in the evening. Before we went to bed, I was like, oh, Kyle, look what I did today with Chester. And he was like, what are you doing that for? I had to explain, didn't I? Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave you on that happy thought of Chester nibbling at my dressing gown cord, running up and down the stairs with me. Next week, I'm in Boston, so there might not be an episode. There might be, we don't know, we'll have to figure it out. But there'll definitely be regular episodes now, back to me and Kyle, documenting leading up to Tour de France and beyond. Because we've actually got a meeting now with some people that we know about some plans for next year, haven't we, Kyle?
That need to start getting planned this
year.
That
need to start getting planned now. We're not revealing that until the end of this year, but next year me and Kyle are doing something pretty big on the bikes. So we'll leave that with you. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the return of Kyle.
I'm sure you have.
Kyle looks thrilled to be back. He looks like he's half asleep.
I am quite tired, actually.
But anyway, thank you so much for listening. TT's the FN. Ta-ta for now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.